I'm excited to say it's officially about that time to start thinking about some spring fragrances, right? Had a nice hibernation here when it comes to winter time, able to really utilize some heavy, strong, rich fragrances and things that you can kind of wear to stand out and to be a little bit more creative with. But now it's time to circle back and start looking at some fresher, lighter, more green, springtime appropriate scents. In terms of weather here, it's still a little bit feeling like winter right now. Spring officially is still a few weeks out. However, I kind of wanted to go ahead and drop this video now just so you guys can kind of start doing some shopping if you want to pick up some new fragrances for the spring 2023. You could start adding some of these to your cart and purchasing them now, and they'll arrive just in time. Or maybe you already live in a place where it does feel like spring. Lucky you. So we've got my top 10 spring designer fragrances for 2023 here. All going to be affordable. All can be had at discounters for $100 or less. And so I will link all of these down below to discounters as well if you are interested in picking any up for yourself. I also have a mailing list you can sign up to if you're looking to get any great deals on any rare, discontinued, hard to find scents. Hit that first link down below, sign up to the list. Anytime something comes into stock that's worth noting and talking about, I send out an email so you guys can be the first to get it, because generally the things that we are looking for sell out very quickly. Starting off at number 10, Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Eau de Toilette Extreme. Quite the name on this one, but that is what it is. This one has notes of ice, citruses, and musk in here. Pretty standard note breakdown, not a whole lot to it. Citrus, musk, some other woods, along with a kind of an ice accord is what they list off. Does ice have a smell? Last I checked, it shouldn't. If your ice has a smell, that's kind of some sketchy ice, right? But essentially it does give off this crisp, refreshing, cooling type of smell, which I guess could allude to an ice accord, but you guys know how that goes. But it does smell very refreshing, very crisp, uplifting, and perfect for springtime when things are starting to come back to life and maybe you have a day where it is still a little bit chilly. This one will hold up because it does have some of those woods going on in the base, and that musk can kind of hold this one up and make it stand out even when it is a little bit chilly outside. But then later on in the afternoon when the sun comes out and it warms up, you've got the citrus backing this one up to kind of give it that fresh, uplifting smell. At number 9, we have Issey Miyake Nuit d'Issey Blue Astral. So not one that you hear talked about every day, but one that ultimately is different and unique for what it is. Now this one has lime, coriander, and amberwood as some of the main notes in this one. So notes that you don't normally see every day, so kind of a different twist. It's got a really unique texture to it. That's what this is all about to me. Is when you smell this one, you get that lime coriander mix. So it's kind of citric and kind of, I don't know, spicy in a way off the top from the lime. And then the coriander almost gives off this watery feel, for a lack of a better term. Not watery smell, not an aquatic note, but a kind of a watery texture. Amberwood in here kind of giving off the amber, ambroxan type of feel. This is just different, and to me it's different in a good way. It's called Blue Astral, but it kind of even has a little bit of a green tinge or smell to it, which I would allude this one very much to smelling like a springtime scent over a summertime scent 100%. So if you want to stand out this spring season and you want something that most everyone else is not going to be wearing and something that you haven't really smelled anywhere else from a designer, check this one out. Moving on to number 8, we have Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Toilette 2017 release. There is a difference between the 2017, which is what I'm holding up here, versus the original Gentleman, which is 1974. That one is classic. It smells like it was released in 1974, whereas this one smells more like it was released in 2017, much more modern and just the way to go, in my opinion. Now this one has iris, pear, and lavender in here. It's fruity, it's fresh, but with an iris accord, which I really like. There's not much else out there that is quite like this one. You know, it is obviously a Gentleman. Does it smell like the Eau de Parfum? Not really. Does it smell like the Eau de Toilette Intense? No, I don't think so. This one really stands on its own, even though it's essentially kind of the the start of the line here, and all of the other flankers follow after it. So it does stand out. It is unique. The pear iris combination is something that you don't really get in anything else, and it works great. At number 7, we have John Varvatos XX Artisan. Now, this is going to be their flagship vetiver scent. So just about every designer brand has kind of their vetiver scent, just like a lot of brands may have their blue fragrance or their iris fragrance these days, right? Kind of just some trends that a lot of brands are kind of utilizing. And a lot of brands also have a nice soapy clean vetiver scent, or not even a soapy clean vetiver scent. It could be like an Encre Noir, which is a earthy and kind of smoky vetiver scent. But again, most brands have something of the sort. This is John Varvatos' take on vetiver, and it's a unique one at that. This one, along with that vetiver, has some bitter orange in here as well, some other citrus going on, some other woods kind of alongside that vetiver, but it is all about the note that I've said a million times at this point. And this variety is of the soapier variety, so this is one that you can wear to work, to school. It's very clean, fresh, and super versatile. And it does have kind of a springtime smell. You've got a little bit of a fresh balance, and then also a little bit of a kind of a sweetness from that sweet bitter orange and just the woods going on in here. All around, a really well done scent. And again, you could wear this for pretty much any situation in the springtime. Moving on to number 6, we have Brioni Eau de Parfum. So these go for around $65 or so on discounters when you can get them in stock. This one has violet, ozonic notes, musk, and cedar wood. I mean, this is the type of thing where when I smell it, I immediately think of springtime. It's ozonic, it's airy, it's light, it's wispy. If I had to describe this as smelling like a color, it would be like a bluish purple or something like that, just because of how the violet is. It's very strong in this one. And ultimately, it just smells like springtime when things are coming back to life. This isn't so citrusy to where it smells like a summertime scent, but it also isn't sweet in the way where it smells like a winter scent. It's kind of right there in the middle. And also, it's not really what I would look for in a fall scent either. So process of elimination kind of leads us to being a spring scent. And I think this one works perfectly for this season. Another one that's very versatile and can be worn for pretty much any situation you desire. So long as you like the smell of this, you're not going to have a problem finding times to wear it. This could easily be your signature scent. It's great quality, decent performance out of it as well, and quite unique for what it is. Breaking into the top 5, we have Polo Blue Parfum. So not Polo Deep Blue Parfum. Granted, that could be in the video, but I'm choosing Polo Blue Parfum. There is a big difference between the two. Now, this one has oak, it's got orange, and olibanum in here. So, decently heavy on the woods, a little bit of a fruity orange. The olibanum's kind of giving off this kind of light spiciness, and I really enjoy this one thoroughly. I think it's fantastic. This is definitely the Polo Blue to get in 2023 if you are looking to pick one up and either you don't have any of the Polo Blues or you do have them and you're looking to get another one. This should be it. You could easily skip the Eau de Toilette and Ultra Blue and all of the other ones that come between these and just go straight for this one. It really is that Polo Blue iconic DNA that everybody knows, but richer, more mature, more grown up. And ultimately, a lot more interesting for those of us who have smelled a ton of things and are used to smelling things that generally would be perceived as basic these days. This one, while it isn't completely new, obviously, it does kind of dress that DNA up in a way to where a fragrance enthusiast would enjoy it more. Ultimately, I think this one fits perfect for springtime. It's not one I would wear in the summertime. Generally, I would just be going for things that are brighter and more vacation smelling. I wouldn't wear this in winter, wouldn't wear it in fall. Great for spring. Number 4, we have a scent from a designer brand, which isn't talked about a ton in the grand scheme of things, and especially this scent in particular isn't talked about a lot either. So if you're looking for something that isn't featured all the time, this is kind of one of those things that would come to mind. From Lacoste, it's Match Point. This is going to be the newest and current eau de parfum flanker here. Now this one has vetiver, it's got citruses and patchouli in here. Match Point Eau de Toilette, it's fantastic. I think it's great, really nice one. If I had to choose between the two, I'm taking the eau de parfum. I think it's more well done, more interesting, more well-rounded. That patchouli accord is nice. It's giving you a little bit of a sweet bump, and it complements the citruses beautifully. I mean, it smells great. I gotta admit, they did a fantastic job with this one. The vetiver is alongside those notes, giving it kind of a clean, woody support. It's nothing too earthy, nothing too strong. The patchouli also is not too sweet or too strong or too old school smelling at all. This is a very modern, clean, green springtime scent. This is fantastic. Breaking into the top 3 with Ralph Lauren Purple Label. Real nice classic looking bottle on this one. Another one that you don't hear talked about a ton these days, but I do think that is kind of a criminal because this is a fantastic scent for the price. It's got blackberry, mahogany wood, coriander, and sage. Heavy on the aromatics, heavy on this fruity blackberry accord, which you do pick up on. It's hard to miss. That's what makes this one so unique. And one thing you'll see this one gets compared to is Bleecker Street by Bond No. 9. Interesting enough, this came first. Okay, so whether you subscribe to that comparison or not, this is the one that would have originated that thought. I do think there are probably more differences than similarities overall. Bond No. 9 Bleecker Street is blueberry. This is blackberry. The woods going on in here are more pronounced. There's more aromatics in the form of the sage and that sort of thing. Lavender as well, of course. And so, you know, maybe you could draw some slight comparisons. Maybe the Bond was loosely inspired by or moderately inspired by this one, but I don't think it's to the point where you would call it a clone. Similar vein, similar ballpark, sure. But this one ultimately does stand on its own. There's nothing else out there really like it. That combination of notes right there is amazing. You smell this stuff in the air, and it truly is one of a kind and different. Even though this has been out for a long time now, you just don't really hear it talked about anymore. Definitely worth checking out. And this is hands down one of the most spring-smelling fragrances on the designer side that you can buy. Bleecker Street, of course, very much smells like spring as well. Definitely, but that's a niche scent. At number 2, we have Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Very nostalgic one for me. One of my favorites from Chanel. I love the whole Allure Homme line, but this one is also fantastic. So you do get that orange, you get some mint, you get some tonka bean in here. Just nice, powdery, creamy, smooth, silky scent. The orange tonka combination is classic. It's timeless. They work together so well, especially in this one. It was blended to perfection, and it gives you that kind of warm, creamy type of smell with a little bit of a freshness. And then the mint is giving it a nice green kick off the top, which kind of helps to throw this one into that spring category as well. I think spring is the perfect time of year to wear this one. Summertime, it just gets too hot, gets too cloying for me. It just isn't my scent of choice, although you could probably pull it off. Wintertime, I'm getting into the tobaccos and the boozy scents, right? Fall, similar deal. I'm starting to work into some things of that nature, so that leaves spring behind. And I think this is a beautiful one to wear when it is just starting to warm up and thaw out outside. So what's my number 1 spring designer scent for this year? Might be a little bit of a surprise to you. Definitely was for me, because seeing this release, it's a new 2023 release, guys, so that's crazy, right? Generally this doesn't happen, but this one was so impressive to me. And at the end of the day, what it's all about is when it comes to my list, it's what I'm going to be wearing. And I've been wearing this more than any new release, to the point where I've already put a dent in my bottle. Now, you know, maybe that might sound crazy. Oh, you put a dent in your bottle, who cares? Everyone puts dents in their bottles. You buy fragrances to wear them, right? But guys, you got to keep in mind, I'm testing all the new releases. I've got a million things behind me to wear. And so to already use this much of a new release that I've only had for a couple months is saying something. At number 1, it's the new Y Eau de Parfum Intense. So it's going to be hard to see just because of the lighting, this just isn't going to work. But you can take my word for it or not. I put a dent in this bottle. I don't wear a ton each time I wear it. 3 sprays, you know, maybe sometimes 4. So I have several solid wearings behind this one. For whatever reason, this has clicked with me in a great way, and I've been picking it up way more than I have the Eau de Parfum or the Le Parfum or any other for that matter. So this one has sage, patchouli, ginger, and geranium here. Of course, very heavy on the aromatics, just like why Eau de Parfum is. However, the key difference between those and also Le Parfum is that you may notice no apple. So they took away that sweet, cloying fruitiness that you get immediately off the top and into the dry down of the Eau de Parfum and Le Parfum. And they instead kind of boosted up the aromatics even more and tossed in a relatively prominent patchouli accord in here. It smells fantastic. And so if you are looking for a more refined and mature version of Eau de Parfum, this is going to be it for you. And again, Eau de Parfum as well, because it takes out that fruitiness. Now, it should go without saying, and I wouldn't think I would have to explain this, but looking online, I think I do need to address it. It still isn't a super mature scent. This isn't Chanel Egoiste, okay? And it's a Y flanker. I don't think anyone should realistically expect it to be to that level of maturity. It still has some of that playful and youthfulness going on, but nowhere near as much as the Eau de Parfum and Le Parfum. So definitely going to be a step in that direction of getting away from that cloying sweetness and bumping up the aromatics. I think it's a great flanker. I've been obsessed with it, and I know going into spring, I'm going to be wearing this one heavily because I'm already wearing it here at the end of winter time. So this is my number 1, and I love it. That's it for me, guys. My top 10 spring designer fragrances for 2023. Let me know what you're going to be wearing down below. I will link these down below as well. And if you want to hop on that mailing list and get some amazing deals, you can do so. You can unsubscribe at any point, but it's going to save you a lot of money. If you're looking for some hard to find things, that'll help you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.